You are now listening to the Connecting Creators podcast. Here we explore the topics and guest stories to better understand how creators think, how they connect with their audience, and ultimately, how they create. Welcome back to the Connecting Creators podcast. Today's episode is just a short episode about music. We just released our guest episode with Jacob Hayden, who's an artist, so it's fitting that we continue the music talks this week. We're going to start by getting into some hot topics, specifically Drake's new album. So, yes, Steph, what's your take on Drake's album?
First of all, I'll say I think the album's great. I thought it was good off the first listen, but I knew it was going to grow on me. And obviously, a lot of people are upset that it's not as much like rap focused. I think they were kind of expecting like some nice hype up songs and stuff like that. But honestly, I like the vibe. After the first few songs, I was like, okay, I see what the vibe is going to be. And I think it's a great masterpiece. And he's done it all already, but now he's done this. And I think we talked about a little bit about adapting and stuff like that in our last episode. And, I think that Drake is like the icon for that kind of stuff. And we know how good his lyrics are. We know how good he is at different genres that he's done, dance hall recently. And I think this is just going to, add to his repertoire. And I think a lot of people in the next few weeks are going to be messing with it more than initially.
No, definitely. I agree. I think like on the weekend when it came out, for me, it was like a 7 out of 10. Now it's probably like an 8.5.
Yeah.
So it's already growing on me. The criticism is fair on some of it's like repetitive. But I would say like ultimately it's not a rap album. Bro, it's been like 5 years since he's been a strict rapper.
Right.
He's been a pop star for like I don't know how long now. So
exactly.
Yeah, people are crazy. But no, I definitely like it. I like all like the new instruments and things that he tested out in there. And then the one with 21 Savage at the end was like a nice little addition for the people that wanted the rap part of it.
Yeah, I think it was great. I think he did a really good job. And, at this point, he has nothing to prove as an artist. So I don't blame him for trying new things and try to expand his repertoire. And, I'm sure when people look back at this album in 2 years, they're going to be picking a few songs and they're still going to be hearing some of those songs in the clubs or at parties or kickbacks or whatever it is. They're gonna be playing those songs. So
you got a favorite song on the album? Mine's probably Flights Booked. I really like
Flights Booked is really good. Sticky is really good.
Yeah,
I really like Sticky. And then bro, I keep forgetting this one.
Yeah, it's Overdrive.
Overdrive. Yeah. That one's tough. That just gives me the Weekend vibes, Michael Jackson vibes. I love the start, the intro with the instrument, and it's just like it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
No, definitely. Another album that came out today, actually. Chris Brown. Have you gotten to that one?
I haven't even gone to that, bro. I've been so busy, but I actually just listened to a few of them, a few of the songs, and man, it's really good so far. So I gotta really tap into that. Coffee, who's one of my favorite artists, I think she just dropped the album too. So I got a lot of listening to do.
So who do you think has a better sample catalog between Kanye and Drake?
Kanye West and Aubrey Graham. That's a good question. Bro, that is a crazy question because, obviously for us being big fans of music, when we hear samples and songs, we're just like, wow, that's just like a beautiful kind of like remix of like old songs. And then we have to go back and listen to the originals. We're like, wow, that's a good song. Like who would have thought that this would have, these samples from, all different types of genres could be used in songs. That TikTok account with a guy, he kind of goes through different samples and stuff. Like when I saw that Kiss My Teeth came from, Sonic the Hedgehog video game, I was like, bro, like who thinks of that when they're making music? You know what I mean?
No, definitely.
But I think for me, I don't know, man. I think I want to be biased and say Drake, but I think I'm going to go with Kanye just because he does a lot of the production side of his music.
Yep.
He's always been super talented when it comes to, production. Obviously, he's a great rapper as well, but I think production is his bread and butter. So knowing that he kind of has to go and produce all those things, there's not a knock on Drake, but for him to go and do that himself and then find these samples and, remix them in any way he wants, I think I'll give it to Kanye just because of, he's going through time and effort to doing that and then adding the lyrics on top of that.
Yeah, I would agree. This morning I finished like a YouTube video from a channel called Dissect. He owns like
Uh,
a podcast where he dissects samples and songs and albums and everything.
mm-hmm,
He was going over like the Yeezus album. In one of the first songs, he like uses a sample
mm-hmm.
just to tease the listener, saying like, "Yeah, I know you guys want samples, but this is not what I'm giving you." And
Yeah.
like he really like he tells stories a lot better with it. I feel like Drake kind of
Mm-hmm.
sound good.
Right.
Kanye is like tells the story
Storytelling.
of the album. I like the subtlety of Drake's samples, whereas like Kanye's are more booming. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I definitely agree. I think Kanye takes it on this one. You have a favorite sample from each artist? For mine, like Drake's would probably be. I really like the "Look What You Done" sample.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
And then for Kanye, I don't know. Like I don't even know if "Devil in a New Dress" is a sample or not, but that beat is crazy. That's like my favorite like thing Kanye
Yeah.
used. "Blood on the Leaves" is a good sample from Kanye too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if you have one from each artist.
Wow. That's a crazy question to ask me. Why you be asking these crazy questions, bro? Got me thinking on the spot. Honestly, bro, Free Smoke is crazy. I think I'll have to go with Free Smoke. I was going to say Kiss My Teeth too, just because it still just blows my mind that an artist, one of the best artists said, yeah, let me just take some music from a video game.
He's probably playing it, bro. And he's like,
He's probably playing the Sonic game. He's like, wait,
yeah, this is nuts.
it's kind of tough. I'm just like,
Definitely.
no, I'll pick Free Smoke though, because that sample is beautiful. And I think Drake does a really good job of like, when he introduces like the intros for his songs,
Yeah.
the sample will be in there and then he kind of like,
Bro,
goes in.
Tuscan. I'm about to change my previous answer.
Yo.
Kanye did the Michael Jackson one in that album. The one after the College Dropout.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Pretty Young Thing. And he like
Yeah.
stole out. That one was really good too.
Yeah, I don't know. He has a lot of good ones. I don't know. I don't even know if I could pick one from Kanye. I really like Bound, to be honest.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I think that I really like that one. Even though it's funny, I don't really particularly love that song, but I love the sample
Yeah.
in it. Like I really appreciate the sample in it, Bound to fall in love.
Wow, that was so tough, bro.
Nah, for real, bro. Wait, what samples did he have from College Dropout? Because now I feel like I'm missing like a big one from there.
I don't know, bro. I gotta like.
You gotta like re-listen a lot.
Yeah, I'm not like song names don't stick to me like that. Like the album.
Yeah. The albums, right? The albums. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right, let's move off.
Say less. What's next?
A lot of people don't like samples because they think like it's ripping certain artists off and
Right.
artists are making money off of other people's names. So obviously music is an art form, but at the end of the day, it's still a business. How do you think the business side has helped the music industry and also kind of taken away from some of the artistic
Yeah.
side?
I really feel like with social media today, obviously look at TikTok. There's some artists that have, will have like a really good song, like one really good single, and it goes out on TikTok and it becomes kind of the centerpiece around, certain trends. And then it's like they get a lot of attention. People will start listening to the song, like, oh, that song's really good. It's good because it promotes the music and kind of, showcase, these under the radar artists. And it's kind of like, good publicity for them. But at the same time, other songs that, they've probably put a lot of time and effort into their craft, it's like, a lot of those other songs will get overshadowed. And that person will now be associated with that TikTok trend for their career.
Yeah.
It won't be like people will know them because of the name of the song and the name of the artist. It'll be like, oh, that's the song from this TikTok trend. In a way, if it was me as an artist personally, I don't know if I would want to be kind of remembered as, the guy who was made a song for this trend. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Because who knows, in a few years, there might not be like TikTok might not be the thing. It might be something else.
Yeah.
And that song's not really going to stick with people. But I think as far as like, obviously it's a business and kind of going towards more of like the sample piece of it. I think art in any form, I think it's a great thing to use someone's previous artwork and remix it and make it your own. And we've kind of talked about this in the past episode. Like obviously you don't want to I don't think you should copy someone's work and do like the exact thing they're doing. But if you take a little part of someone's song and you change up the tone, you speed up the rhythm, and you can kind of insert that in your own song, make it your own. I think that's a great thing. And I think it also what they should do on Spotify, on Apple Music, on any like streaming services with music. I
Yeah.
think that when an artist uses a sample, I think they should include either like another line right under the artist's name, and it's like sample from whatever, just to give that artist
Yeah.
recognition.
Yeah, definitely. Like you can only see it when you go into the writing credits. But with that being said, like for example, Drake on the Look What You've Done,
Mm-hmm.
he sampled Static Major
Mm-hmm.
obviously after he passed away. But for
Mm-hmm.
example, like Static Major was a artist that like he helped Aaliyah get bigger.
Yep. Yep.
And then they also like never pushed him. Well, I don't
Mm,
remember which label he was on, but that label never pushed him. So it's like by Drake sampling that, that's how I heard of him, and that's how a lot of other people like
mm-hmm.
back at that time that were
Right.
young like heard of him. It's almost like
They honor you by sampling.
and like they're still getting paid because you still got to
Yeah.
get the samples cleared. So I think it's a good
Exactly.
thing.
I love samples, bro. And when it comes to like Spotify, like the big playlists are where you want your songs. So it's like having to make those connections and having the label to put that in there. It's kind of like tricky. That's why I feel like TikTok's really helpful because the more popular it is on there, the more likely it is to get into these playlists. But at the same time, a lot of labels still hold like their artists back. They're like, oh, you can't drop that, you can't do that because it's not gonna make this money. It's not what people want to hear. Meanwhile, it's like, how do they know what people want to hear if it's not out? So it can definitely help a lot of younger artists on the social media aspect to grow. But in terms of people that are already signed, it can definitely hold them back.
And also like song features is like a big thing from a business standpoint because like
Mm-hmm.
you're kind of sharing your audience.
Right.
I feel like that's helpful, but it
Yeah.
can also be bad too because a lot of people overdo it.
Mm-hmm.
For example, somebody like Blast, he might have the worst features like that of people that go onto his song,
Yeah.
and it's like he must be caught in some contract thing or something like
Mm.
that.
Because they just be ruining it in songs.
Right.
And then remixes as well are in the same boat where they can either help you or they can just they can be overdone. They can definitely be overdone. Speaking of like remixes and stuff, there's a lot of Afrobeat remixes. Now that Afrobeats is in like the mainstream, do you think the way it came to be mainstream was good for that genre or was it bad? I personally think it was good because I think eyes that go on to anything is good.
Right.
But yeah, what do you think?
See, I'm a little torn when it comes to this because obviously I think it's a good thing when mainstream artists kind of remix these things because it brings more attention to them and it helps people kind of recognize, oh wow, like this genre of music is really beautiful to listen. Like it's really nice. It's refreshing, it's different. It kind of just puts you in a good mood. So obviously I think it gives good publicity and it kind of, helps popularize, Afrobeats. But also at the same time, I think there are certain times when I've listened to songs and I'm just like, I just prefer listening to the original.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like there's nothing against the artist. Like, when Justin Bieber went on that one song, Essence, it's not like I don't like Justin Bieber as an artist, but I felt like when I listened to that original song, I was like, wow, this is like a really good song. Like I was like, wow, this is a banger. And then I remember like hearing JB like hop on it. I was like, okay, like I see what he's trying to do, like dip his toes into like a different type of music and all that stuff. And I'm sure he's very appreciative of the music, but at the same time, I was like, I don't know if his flow or his voice kind of like matched with like the vibe that I was getting with the music. It's hard for artists to do that. Like, and I think also that kind of shows like some artists can do it better than others, and it doesn't like sound as
Authentic.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So I don't know. That's just my take on it though.
Yeah, I think it depends. For example, like you mentioned the Essence song with Justin Bieber. That's how I first heard Attempts. Now, like I love her music, but you're right. He doesn't really fit on that song as well as the original was. And even the Ed Sheeran remix for Peru, that song was good on its own. Like, if I'm being honest,
Bro.
like, and Ed Sheeran's really good.
Yeah, he is.
but it's just that one could have just been Fireboy DML himself.
Yeah. I mean, even 21 Savage did a remix with Blast.
Oh, bro, that was not it. That one was not Blast was good, but 21 was not it.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I love listening to 21's music, but like the whole flow, like even when he came into the song and he was like rapping, like as I listened to it a little bit more, I was like, okay, maybe, but like it just doesn't fit. You know what I mean?
No, definitely. I think like, bro, even Future and Drake sampling Thames, like that was like well done.
That was very well done.
Because at first I didn't know it was a sample. I thought she was just on the background vocals, and I'm like, why
me too.
Why isn't her name there, bro? I was
Facts,
like,
bro.
Doesn't make any sense. And then when I seen that the original song, I think it's like Higher, I think is what it's called, but because I was listening to her album. And then I came across it, I'm like, oh, okay, it was a sample. But yeah, it would have been helpful if Spotify put the sample thing that you mentioned earlier.
Oh, hey, we might have to reach out to them and be like, yo.
Hey, bro, I'm down. I mean, you already know I got my playlist.
Facts.
I got a playlist where I put the original sample, and then after that, I put the song that they use to sample
the singles.
Yeah, sample the singles.
I shared it with me, yeah. If y'all need that, let me know. Tap in.
Do you think like all these like pop features and rap features have like taken away from like the artists in Afrobeats that might be underappreciated? Or do you think it doesn't matter?
No, I don't think it overshadowing kind of like the original artists and stuff like that. I don't think it does. And like I said, I have no problem with someone who is mainstream, who isn't, maybe of that culture or whatever, getting onto a song and trying something new, because that's them going outside their comfort zone. You can't hate on anyone for doing that. I think it's, it's fine. It's great. The first time I ever heard Dave was when Drake did the Wanna Know remix. It's funny because then I started getting into UK rap a little bit. Started listening to Stormzy, started listening to, J Hus, guys like that. So I think it's great. And if anything, it helps the artist, the original artist, instead of overshadowing them. It's just that in some cases that artist maybe didn't fit as well as maybe they thought they would, or maybe the audience doesn't think that they fit as well. But I think it brings great recognition for, those original artists. And then, if the song is good, the people will be like, oh, let me go see who this person is. Let's check out some other songs. And then that's how it starts.
I would agree. Yeah, with Dave in particular, like that was definitely the first time I heard him, and now when he drops, I listen to him. UK and Afrobeats and even like French music, they're starting to get blended in to mainstream music, so you definitely take notice of it a lot more.
Facts.
But I also feel like a lot of fans that are like gatekeepers, where it's like, you can't listen to this because you didn't listen to it before Drake sampled it.
Right.
Like, bro, you're just annoying. Like, I'm trying to enjoy the music. But yeah, bro, that's all the things that we got today. Did you want to wrap it up?
Appreciate you guys for tuning in to today's episode. Talked about music and more music. Talked about the samples, Afrobeats, and Drizzy's album, of course. We're gonna continue to give you guys great content. Shout out to my boy SP for editing these videos. The production side, he's holding it down. He's carrying the workload right now. I'm not gonna lie, but it's okay. I carry him in any video game we play, Fortnite, Rocket League. Anyways, that's besides the facts. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and we will see you guys later.